My child, set everything else aside for a moment. Let your thoughts grow quiet, let the noise within you settle, and listen with your whole heart, because heaven has drawn near to speak to you. The demands of this day can wait for a little while, and the questions that have filled your mind do not need to be answered before you hear my voice. What you are about to receive is not ordinary. The prayers that seemed to linger in silence, the blessings that felt delayed, and the answers you wondered about are beginning to move according to my purpose. This is not coincidence. This is not chance. You did not arrive here by accident, because I have brought you to this moment, and I have known this meeting long before you ever realized it was coming. I am the Lord your God, and I have called you here with intention. Long before you reached this moment, I knew the questions you whispered when no one else was listening, the nights you asked, Lord, if you are truly with me, show me. I heard the prayers you spoke with confidence, and I also heard the ones you barely had the strength to whisper. My beloved, this is the answer you have been asking for. This is the moment that carries the weight of what comes next. The place where you're waiting meets my perfect timing. Nothing about this encounter is random, because I have been gently leading your steps, even when you believed you were walking alone. In the next few moments, heaven will open over you, not with thunder that startles the earth, but with the quiet power of my presence settling upon your heart. Often my greatest work begins in stillness rather than spectacle, where peace quietly replaces fear and hope gently begins to rise again. I am calling you by name, reaching into the places within you that no one else has ever seen. I am stepping into the rooms where fear has whispered its lies, and where doubt has slowly built its walls. And I am tearing those walls down. Stay with me, because these words carry purpose that reaches far beyond this moment. And what begins inside your heart today will continue unfolding long after these words have ended. What you are hearing was part of my plan for you long before the foundations of the world were laid. I have waited for this exact breath, this exact heartbeat, to meet you here. I saw every night you lay awake, staring into the darkness, wondering if I had forgotten you. I watched you carry burdens no one else could see, and I noticed the quiet strength hidden behind your smile. I saw the mornings when you stood before others, appearing strong while your heart quietly carried exhaustion. Every tear that fell when no one was there to witness it was seen by me, and everyone became a testimony that you kept holding on when giving up seemed easier. Nothing you endured escaped my attention, because my eyes have never left you. My child, let this be the confirmation you have longed for. The season of waiting has met the moment of my timing. Every delay that felt like denial was preparing you, every detour was leading you where I intended, and every season of silence was never my absence but my careful alignment. Even when the path appeared uncertain, I was arranging what your eyes could not yet see. You have remained in the waiting place of heaven, and now the door before you is beginning to open. This message is meant for the one who continued believing without seeing, praying without hearing, and hoping without visible proof. Your faith has been growing even in places where you thought nothing was changing. The time for endless wondering is drawing to a close, and the season of hesitation is passing away. What lies ahead will bear little resemblance to what is behind you. I stand at the threshold of your life once again, not because I've ever been far from you, but because I desire your full attention. I have always been near, patiently waiting for the moment when your heart could hear my voice above every other voice. Open your heart to me, open your spirit, and listen carefully, because what happens in these next moments matters deeply. Sometimes a single decision made in faith becomes the beginning of a completely different story. This message is not here simply to satisfy your curiosity. It has come to meet you personally. Do not turn away or let these words become another passing inspiration that fades once your day becomes busy again. My presence is drawing near even now, and heaven has appointed angels to carry what has been prepared for your obedience. If you quiet your heart and truly listen, you may already recognize the warmth rising within your chest, the gentle stirring deep in your soul, and the peace settling where anxiety once lived. Those quiet moments are often where my voice becomes clearest, because my presence is received by a willing heart before it is understood by the mind. That quiet assurance is my spirit confirming these words to you. The next breath you take carries the scent of change, and the next moment holds a promise that has been waiting for its appointed time. You asked me to open a door, and I tell you that I am that door. You asked for a sign, and this is your answer. You longed for direction, and I am giving it to you with clarity. Your waiting has held purpose. my silence has held meaning, and your faith has never escaped my notice. Even when you question yourself, I never question my plans for you. My child, hear me with all your heart. What unfolds from this moment is not something to set aside for another day. What I have prepared for you is being released now, and heaven stands ready to pour out what has been waiting, but you must open your heart to receive it. Do not allow fear, distraction, or doubt to steal what is being placed before you. Lay every anxious thought before me, because there is no burden you must carry alone while I am walking beside you. Stay with me, because every word that follows carries healing, restoration, and the beginning of something new. You have often asked, Lord, when will my life begin to change? My answer is here. You are standing where yesterday meets tomorrow, and the future you have prayed for begins as you surrender your heart completely to my voice. Change often begins quietly within the heart before it is ever seen in the circumstances around you. In the moments ahead, you will sense my peace quieting the chaos within you, my certainty calming your doubts, and my love reminding you that I have never left your side. You are not forgotten, you are not overwhelmed beyond my care, and you are not too late. I have been with you through every season, and I will remain with you through the next one as well. You are called for this moment, so quiet every voice competing for your attention and fix your eyes upon me. Listen to these final opening words with an open heart. This is your divine appointment. Heaven has arranged this very moment so you may know without question that I am real, that I am near, and that what I have prepared for you cannot be taken away by any earthly power. Every breath you draw and every heartbeat you feel carries the rhythm of my promise. Let that truth settle deeply within you until it becomes stronger than every fear that has tried to speak over your life. I am speaking to you as your Father, your Savior, and your Redeemer. Once again I say, do not turn away. What you have been praying for is already standing at your door, and what you have waited to see has already begun. Receive these words with faith, and you will watch the blessings written for you before time began unfold, before your eyes, one step at a time, according to my perfect wisdom. If this speaks to your heart, type, I believe you're working, Lord, even when life doesn't make sense. My beloved child, pause for just a moment and breathe. Do not rush past this sacred interruption, because this is far more than another ordinary moment in your day. I, Jesus, have brought you here with purpose. Everything around you may appear unchanged, yet heaven has drawn near for you at this very moment. This second was written into eternity before you ever took your first breath, and every step that led you here has been guided by my hand. I have been waiting for your heart to become still enough to hear my voice again. What you are sensing now, the stirring within your chest and the trembling deep in your soul, is the nearness of heaven gently reaching for you. Remain here with me for a little longer, and let your heart rest in the assurance that my presence has been closer than you ever imagined. My child, I know how long you have searched for my voice beneath the noise of everyday life. In the quiet places of your heart you have whispered, Lord, are you still with me? Do you still see me? There were moments when you looked around and felt invisible, as though your prayers disappeared into an empty sky. Yet I tell you this with all the love of a father, I have been nearer than your very breath, closer than your own thoughts, and there has never been a single heartbeat when you were forgotten. I saw every tear you tried so hard to hide. I heard every night you whispered my name into the darkness, hoping for an answer that seemed slow to come. I understood the cries you never found words to speak, even when no one around you could understand the weight you carried. When you felt abandoned, I was beside you, quietly whispering, hold on. You may not have recognized my voice then, but it was my strength that carried you through the moments when your own strength was gone. My beloved, would I truly bring you this far, only to leave you without direction? Every delay, every unexpected turn, every meeting and every closed door has been woven together by my hand to bring you here. You believed this message appeared by chance, but I placed it before your eyes with purpose. This is how I reach through the noise of the world to touch your heart and remind you that I have never stopped speaking to you. For too long, distraction and doubt have clouded your vision. The voices around you have been loud, each one competing for your attention, but I have quieted this moment so you can hear mine again. Listen closely, because I am speaking directly to your spirit. You have carried the burden of unanswered prayers for longer than you ever imagined, wondering why certain doors stayed closed, why the road ahead seemed uncertain, and why promises appeared to remain out of reach. My child, I was never ignoring you. I was preparing you. Your waiting was never punishment. It was my protection over your life. I closed doors because I could already see what waited behind them, and I knew they would wound your heart and steal your peace. I kept you from people and places that would have drained your spirit. Where you saw disappointment, I was accomplishing deliverance, and every answer that sounded like no was gently guiding you toward something greater. You asked me to bless you, and there were moments when I answered, not yet, because I was still shaping the heart that would carry what I had prepared. Can you feel the quiet change even now? That gentle stirring within you is my spirit at work, awakening places that have grown weary through the long season of waiting. Heaven is opening according to my timing, and my angels stand ready with the assignments I have prepared. The silence that has surrounded you is giving way to the nearness of my presence. Perhaps you already sense it. The heaviness is beginning to lift, warmth is filling your heart, and tears rise not from despair, but from the realization that your Creator has seen you all along. My eyes have never left you. You have asked why it took so long, and I tell you this because what I am giving you required a foundation built through endurance. The strength you gained while waiting is the very strength that will sustain what I am now placing into your hands. What I am giving you is lasting, but it calls for your wholehearted obedience. The doors I open are appointed for their own season, and each one carries the timing I have established. That is why I speak with urgency today. Do not delay. Do not dismiss what my Spirit is stirring within you. This is your window of grace, and I know how weary you have become after waiting so long while the world urged you to settle for less than what I promised. But I never called you to a life of settling. I called you to walk by faith. You have not been forgotten, and you stand at the threshold of a moment so significant that heaven itself bears witness to it. What you once dared to hope for now stands before you, but I ask for something greater than your effort. I ask for your surrender. I ask for your trust. I ask for your willing yes in this very moment. If these messages have encouraged your walk with me, and you would like to help make them available to others, you can support this ministry through the QR code or the support link provided in the description. Every act of generosity helps continue sharing words that strengthen faith and draw hearts closer to God. Do not mistake this gentle pause for ordinary conversation. This is the very moment I have been preparing you to receive. I am reaching into the places where disappointment left your heart numb. I am breathing fresh life into the faith that almost grew weary, and with my breath comes renewed direction. Where confusion once lingered, I am bringing clarity. Where doubt has spoken, I am restoring confidence. Where your strength has faded, I am renewing you like an eagle rising on the wind. Do you remember asking me, Lord, why can't I feel you anymore? My silence was never proof that I had left you. I was teaching your faith to rest upon truth rather than feelings alone. While you thought nothing was happening, I was working beyond what your eyes could see. I was arranging details, removing obstacles, and bringing together every part of my purpose until the time was right. Now I am revealing what I have been preparing. The answers are before you. What I have promised is unfolding according to my will. But listen carefully, my beloved, because your response matters. Time is precious, and the opportunities I place before you belong to this moment. Do not let hesitation steal what faithful obedience is ready to receive. When I call, move. When I speak, obey. When I open a door, walk through it with faith. I am not asking you to understand every detail before you take your next step. I am asking you to trust me, because I have already gone before you. Even now I am tearing down the walls that confined your spirit, breaking the chains that weakened your confidence, and silencing the fear that kept telling you that you were not enough. My voice speaks a different truth over your life. I have equipped you for what lies ahead, and I have given you what you need for this next season. You are not behind my timing. You are exactly where I have brought you. Believe my words more deeply than you believe your fears, and trust what I say about you more than the voices of this world. Do not let this moment slip away, my child, because heaven has opened its doors, and what I have prepared is being poured out before you. Do not look back. Do not hesitate. Do not allow doubt to lead your heart. This interruption did not come to distract you, it came to guide you. I, Jesus, have stepped into your day to remind you that you are not forgotten, you are not alone, and you are not too late. The answers you have been waiting for are before you now. Take my hand, keep walking with me, and remember that faithful obedience opens the way for what I have prepared. Listen once more as I speak gently to your soul. I have interrupted your day because I am about to change it. From this moment forward, every step carries eternal significance. You prayed for breakthrough, and now you are standing where it begins. You ask me for a sign. Now you are living the answer you have been praying for. You waited for heaven to move, and now heaven is reaching toward you. This is your divine interruption, my child, so do not let it pass unnoticed. Open your heart completely, respond when I speak, and you will watch my blessings unfold in ways that fill you with wonder. I am Jesus, the one who called you, the one who chose you, and the one who stands before you saying, "Now is the time." My beloved child, listen carefully to what I am about to tell you. These words will bring meaning to the pain you have carried, the silence you struggled to understand, and the long nights when you wondered if I had turned my face away from you. What felt like a hidden season of delay was, in truth, a season of divine preparation. The prayers you believed had gone unanswered were never forgotten. They were being woven together into something far greater than you were able to see. Not a single moment of your waiting was wasted. Every moment was sacred because I was working behind the curtain of your understanding, arranging what could only come together according to heaven's timing rather than human urgency. My child, I never forgot you. I was shaping something within you that comfort alone could never produce. There were days when you cried out, asking, "Lord, have you forgotten me? Have you abandoned me?" I heard every word, and I saw every tear fall to the ground like shattered glass. I watched your heart ache beneath the weight of prayers that seemed to linger without an answer. Even then I gently whispered, "Wait." You did not yet understand that waiting was never my way of withholding from you. It was my way of protecting you. I sheltered you not to punish you, but to purify you. I kept you from battles you were not yet prepared to fight, while preparing you for blessings. Your heart was still growing strong enough to carry. Think of gold that is refined through fire, or a seed that must first disappear beneath the soil before it can grow. What you called isolation, I called preparation beneath the surface. While you believed nothing was happening, roots were quietly reaching deeper. I was strengthening your foundation so that when the time came to pour out what I had promised, you would have the strength to carry it without being crushed beneath its weight. The silence that frightened you was never empty. It was filled with purpose. I was teaching your spirit to recognize my voice above every other sound, to trust me beyond what you could understand, and to love me even when life felt uncertain. There were moments when you looked at others and wondered, "Lord, why are they receiving while I continue waiting?" My answer remained the same, because I am still shaping your heart where only I can see. The waiting place was never a place of abandonment. It was a place of refinement, where control was slowly released and faith grew strong enough to stand without visible proof. I allowed certain doors to remain closed because I wanted you to become ready before you walked through them. Some gifts can only endure when they are placed in the hands that have been matured by my grace. I love you far too deeply to give you something that would harm you before it could bless you. My beloved, I know how deeply the waiting hurt. I remember the nights when you whispered, "God, I can't do this anymore." And yet you found the strength to rise again the next morning. That strength was never yours alone. It was mine, sustaining you. When an unexpected peace settled over you in the middle of your storm, it was my presence wrapping around you like a blanket on a cold night. Though you could not see them, my angels stood watch beside you, guarding you through the darkness and remaining near while you wept in silence. They carried your prayers into my presence when your heart was too weary to find the words. Every tear you shed watered the ground where my work was quietly growing. Every sigh became a seed planted in heaven's care, and every whispered prayer reached me. The reason you remained hidden was because what I was bringing forth in your life needed time before it could be revealed. Just as a seed must remain beneath the earth until the appointed season, what is uncovered too early cannot flourish as it was intended. You may have felt buried, but you were never forgotten. You have been safely held in my hand, protected from eyes that could not yet understand what I was doing in your life. While others overlooked you, I never looked away. I was nurturing what I had placed within you, removing fear, clearing away doubt, shaping your character, strengthening your faith, and gently healing the wounds that could have hindered what lay ahead. So do not despise your hidden season, my child. It has become one of the greatest preparations of your life. When you believed I was silent, I was singing over you through the night. When you thought I had stopped moving, I was arranging people, places, and opportunities with perfect care. I was preparing a future that required patience, sending my angels ahead to straighten difficult paths, to open doors no one could close, and to place favor where you least expected to find it. Now what I have prepared in secret is drawing into the light. You have remained faithful when no one noticed, steadfast when no one applauded, and hopeful when circumstances told you to give up. The season that seemed endless is coming to its appointed close. Waiting is giving way to revealing. What I spoke to your heart in private, I am bringing into the open, and those who question my hand upon your life will see that I have been with you all along. Soon you will no longer wonder whether I have been near, because the evidence of my presence will become clear throughout your life. But remember this, my child, every blessing that follows a season of waiting carries the responsibility of humility and gratitude. When abundance comes, do not forget the one who carried you through the silence. When doors begin to open, continue walking beside me, because I am the same God who sustained you in hidden places, and the same God who will remain with you when those hidden places are left behind. The waiting anchored your heart in my, so that success would never pull you away from my presence. You have asked why so much pain was necessary, and I answer you with love. Pain has purpose within my kingdom. It deepens what comfort alone never could. Tears become the water that nourishes transformation. When your heart was broken, I was shaping you into a vessel prepared for what I had planned. When you believed you had been forgotten, I held you close, breathing fresh life into your weary spirit, whispering hope into your despair, and preparing a place of restoration in the very midst of your sorrow. The fruit that grows from the tears you have sown will soon be before you, and when you taste it, you will know that none of those tears were ever wasted. There are blessings that could never have grown without the rain of your tears. Every tear you shed carried the quiet fragrance of faith, and I gathered each one with care, turning them into streams of favor that are now preparing to flow into your life. The prayers you believed had disappeared were never lost. They were multiplying in ways you could not see, waiting for the moment when my timing and your readiness would meet. That moment is drawing near. The angels who have been entrusted with what I prepared for you are ready to carry it into your life, and heaven itself is stirring on your behalf. Your name is already being spoken in places your feet have not yet reached. My beloved, what I am about to do will bring understanding to everything you have endured, and one day you will look back and quietly say, "Now I see why I had to wait." You thought the waiting was a wall standing in your way, but it became the place where I was forming something new within you. The silence was never abandonment. It was my invitation to trust me more deeply. Every time you chose faith instead of fear, you were watering the promise I had already planted in your heart. You did not lose precious years, you gained strength. You did not lose opportunities, you gained wisdom. Most importantly, you did not lose me. You found me in the waiting, in the quiet places where your faith took root, and learned to rest in my presence rather than your circumstances. So no longer despise the hidden season. Receive it as holy ground, because it was there that your trust grew deeper than your understanding. It was there that you discovered, I am enough, even when life refused to make sense. And now, my beloved, that season of waiting is drawing to its appointed end. The ground that once held your tears is preparing to bear fruit. Hiddenness is giving way to harvest. Delayed things are being released. Closed doors are beginning to open. And the prayers that once seemed unanswered are moving toward fulfillment in ways greater than you imagine. If your heart is fully committed to following me, comment, "Jesus, you are my forever." Even as my blessings begin to overflow, never forget what the waiting taught you. True strength is born through surrender, not striving. I hid you to purify you, not to punish you. I refined you to make you stronger, not weaker, and I prepared your heart in private, so I could entrust you with what would one day be seen publicly. You have endured the test of time, my child. Rise now, because the season of hiddenness is coming to its close, and the light of heaven is breaking across your life. What I have been preparing quietly behind the scenes is ready to be revealed. Every tear you shed has watered the miracle I was growing, and now that miracle stands ready to blossom before your eyes. My beloved child, listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal carries the weight of heaven's perfect timing. You have entered what I call the 45-second test. This is more than a number. It is a picture of how sacred and significant the moments of decision become when I speak to your heart. Every breakthrough, every answered prayer, and every open door I have prepared has been placed within your reach. Whether you receive them depends upon how you respond when my voice calls you forward. This test is not measured by days or years. It is measured by that small, holy moment when heaven opens, and I quietly whisper, "Move, my child." You do not realize how many blessings have stood at the doorway of your life, waiting to be received, only to remain unopened because hesitation delayed your response. Do not let that happen again. You stand before another threshold that I have appointed, and it will not remain open forever. This is not a threat. It is my invitation to trust me while the door still stands open. The next few moments are sacred. I am watching not only the words you speak, but the response of your heart. Many times you prayed, "Lord, show me when to move." And I answered, yet you questioned whether you had truly heard me. I stirred your spirit to forgive, to release what you were holding, and to take a step forward, but fear kept whispering, "Not yet." You waited for another confirmation, another sign, or a more comfortable time. While you hesitated, the moment passed, and what I had prepared for that season remained untouched. My beloved, many of my children miss what I place before them, not because I refuse to give, but because they hesitate when I open the door. Obedience carries a rhythm, and every step of faith moves in harmony with heaven. When I speak, time itself bends to my command. When I give my word, creation responds without delay. But when fear causes you to wait, that moment of divine alignment passes. I do not tell you this to fill your heart with fear. I tell you because I want to awaken your trust. Even now, as you hear these words, there is a door before you that will never open again in quite the same way. This is not a test of determination. It is a test of faith. I am asking you to move before you can see the outcome, to say yes while others still hesitate, and to trust me before every answer is visible. Remember the Israelites standing before the Red Sea. The waters did not part until they stepped forward in faith. Remember Peter stepping out onto the stormy sea. The miracle began when his foot left the safety of the boat. Throughout my word, miracles followed hearts that responded with obedient trust. Heaven never hesitates when I give my command. Why should you? You have prayed for doors to open, and they are opening before you now. What happens next depends upon your response. The 45-second test is simply that sacred space between hearing my voice and choosing whether you will trust it. Do not overthink what I am placing on your heart. Do not allow endless reasoning to drown out my gentle whisper. Obedience is rarely comfortable, and it often asks something costly, but what it produces is eternal. When you respond to my voice, you will watch doors open that have remained closed for years. If you choose to delay once again, if hesitation gives fear another opportunity to rule your heart, you will watch the moment slip away like sand through your fingers, leaving regret where joy might have lived. You have often said, "Lord, I will obey when I feel ready," but readiness has never been the requirement. Faith has always been what I have asked of you. You do not need every answer before you say yes. You only need to trust the one who already holds every answer. I see what lies ahead long before you do, and that is why I ask for your obedience instead of your complete understanding. Every act of trust becomes a seed in my hands, unlocking what has waited patiently for the right time. You have waited long enough, my beloved. The season of hesitation must come to an end, because the opportunities before you will require a willing and immediate response. The window is brief, but what follows is precious. Do you see that the enemy's greatest weapon is often distraction rather than temptation? He cannot always steal what I have prepared, but he will try to persuade you to wait until the moment is past. Today I am breaking that pattern over your life. Where fear once ruled, I am strengthening courage. Where doubt spoke the loudest, I am nurturing faith. Where hesitation held you still, I am calling you to move forward. This time, my child, you will not miss what I am sending to you. My child, I am speaking to you plainly, because this moment carries great importance. What you have been asking me for has already been released from heaven, and the angels entrusted with those answers are already moving according to my purpose. Your response matters more than you realize, because every step of trust brings you into deeper alignment with what I have already prepared. The more quickly you trust me, the more quickly you step into what I have made ready for you. Do not keep saying maybe tomorrow, and do not wait until you feel completely certain, because faith has never rested on certainty. It has always rested on surrender. Faith grows strongest in the moments when you choose to trust me, before every answer is visible and before every question has been settled. Right now, you are standing in a moment where your yes carries lasting significance. You may not understand everything I am doing today, but there will come a time when you look back and realize that your life changed because you chose to trust me in this very moment. Some of the greatest turning points begin quietly, with a single step of obedience that almost seems too small to matter. Yet heaven sees what the world often overlooks. The decision that feels ordinary to you today may become the very place where my purpose begins unfolding in ways you never expected. I remember every time you prayed, "Lord, I wish I could hear you more clearly." I remember the moments when you searched for my voice in the middle of uncertainty, wondering if the silence meant I was far away. My child, this is my answer to that prayer. You are hearing my voice now, and I am giving you the clarity you have been seeking. Trust me. When I gently stir your heart, move. When I whisper go, answer me with your yes. When I ask you to release something, place it into my hands without hesitation, knowing that I never ask you to let go of anything unless I am leading you towards something better, according to my will. Do not keep waiting for what you call the perfect moment, because this is the moment I have appointed. So often you believe you need one more confirmation, one more sign, or one more reason before you take the next step. But my timing is never ruled by human schedules or measured by earthly calendars. What I establish is written in eternity, and my purposes unfold according to wisdom far beyond what you can see today. Rest in that truth, and let it quiet every fear that tells you to wait a little longer. Peace often arrives when you stop trying to control tomorrow and simply trust me with today. The 45 seconds is symbolic. It represents the sacred heartbeat of obedience, the brief space between my voice speaking and your heart responding. Within that moment lies the difference between moving forward in my timing or remaining where hesitation keeps you. It is not about how much time passes, but about the condition of your heart when I call. The invitation before you is simple. Trust me when I speak. Let your response be shaped by faith instead of fear, because every willing step draws you deeper into the path I have already prepared for you. If His presence has brought healing to the places within you that were once broken, say, "Amen, you healed my soul." And if these words have encouraged your faith, please share this video so someone else who needs this reminder may receive it as well. You never know whose heart may be strengthened simply because you chose to pass along the hope you received today.